works. Well, hello, my fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. I am Greg, and with me today is Michelle from Force of Light. How you doing, Michelle?
Good to be here.
I'm glad to have you back on the channel again. Once again, I don't stream a lot, so it takes a while for my people to come rolling in. So it's going to take a minute, but I see some of your people are out there already, so I'm happy about that because we do have James Woolward. What's up, James? Glad to see you out there. Brett, glad to see you. Real Steven, glad to see you. Yeah. Tell your friends, everybody, get them in here because I usually just do Wednesday nights with Tom.
Got you. Yeah.
So I don't stream it because I myself am a pretty busy person, and I would love to do more of these type of conversations we're about to have.
Yes.
Because yes, because this is where it's fun, right? This is what we do. Because I love making my videos, but it's also I love talking about things that I don't normally get to talk about, like Stranger Things and Superman. So, which is what we're going to get into tonight. And since you're a huge Stranger Things fan, and so am I, even though I'm not a streamer, because I got to get that out there for my people, because they know I do physical media. I'm not a streamer, but I do like Stranger Things. So it is something I do like. So what got you into Stranger Things? Let's start with that.
Yeah, so I remember back when that came out, I believe in August of I think end of July 2016 is when that first season dropped. And I probably was about 2 weeks late into the game. Nadley watched it and then recommended it. And then I watched it and was hooked. I mean, that final episode, I've watched enough. I know I can recall the pilot episode very well. Where you see 11 at the very end in the rain, and the kids are like, "Oh, it just that whole first episode did its job." I complain a lot about Disney shows, and I just stopped watching them because I don't like complaining about things. But they know how to write a good twists and hook, and so I was in it from episode 1 and have been a really big fan. At that point, was waiting for the day that season 2 came out, and same with season 3, season 4, and here we are for season 5.
See, I'm excited. I mean, I'll find my way to watch it. But no, it's like when I saw the trailer for it, it's like really hooked me because I know you're reacting to all these movies for the first time now, but I grew up with those type of movies, and when I saw that trailer, I was like, this looks just like what I used to watch,
Yes.
And it really did. That first season, I will give props to the first season, because next to I do think the 4th season and the first season are the best 2 seasons.
Definitely.
That first season really, I think, really captures the essence of those movies. It really truly does. And plus you got Winona Ryder too. So like people my age, seeing Winona Ryder back on something like that, it was really good. And I do like the story of the kids and the bikes and how it all comes together. And it does, when you're sitting there watching it and you're like, what is going to happen? Like even with 11, spoilers. 11 spoilers for a show that's been on for 9 years, that's in its 5th season. When you get to the end, you really do worry about whether or not they're going to bring her back for the next season.
You do. So you absolutely do. And even going into that first season, it really did such a fantastic job of I don't know. It was just amazing television. I don't know if you can recall. I don't know how many times you've watched it through.
Yeah.
But in that first season, say where 11 is discovered by, I think it's the first episode, is it? Or is it first or second episode where she's discovered by the guy who like gives her a hamburger?
Oh yeah. I believe that's the first episode still. Yeah.
Yes, it is the first. Okay, you're right. Because she stumbles into the guys at the end after this. And like that whole scene, they're playing, what is that song, White Rabbit or whatever?
Oh,
that song. And like even scenes like that, and you see that she takes out these guys, you're like, what's going on? I don't know. Everything about it was just, that show just captivates you. Like it was just filmed so real feeling, but yet it felt like you were in the 80s. It was fantastic.
It was good. It was good. And it's like I was telling you, most people don't really know this, but the show has been edited since its first premiered. And now what I mean by that is nothing huge, nothing major, but they call it George Lucasing. So the Duffer Brothers have gone back through from the first season to even the new season 4, and have changed special effects and certain things of the show. And they did release the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray.
Let me go get that. That's right up here. You sent that for me. I
Yes.
just had that thought. Let me get
it. So they did release the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray. And if you have those first 2 seasons on Blu-ray, they are the original unedited versions of the series. They are the original unedited versions of the series. Yes, it's great.
I love it. I love the way they did the VHS.
Yeah. And the second one, I got them over there. I should have grabbed it myself. But the second season is like a VHS too, but it's one of the like clamshells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like plastic clamshell. So if I come across that, I'll send you it for you, because the second season
sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's a little harder to find the second season than the first season. So but that one's easy to find. So like if you have those 2 Blu-ray sets of the first 2 seasons, that's the original unedited versions of Stranger Things. So what it is exactly, I don't think anybody's ever actually gone through it. There might be a website out there, what's changed, what's not, but mostly special effects. Now I did hear something which is funny. Some people have told me this and they swear to it about season 4, because they changed it the same night it premiered. Season 4, they changed it the same night. So it's funny because some people say they remember seeing Nancy's butt.
And then they're like, the butt was gone.
It was and then it's gone. Now it's gone. So I've been told by a couple people, because I didn't watch it the night it premiered. So like you had to stay up like midnight to be watching, like, whatever time they dropped that. So some people swear that, but the Duffers have said they did change something the very same night it dropped. They told Netflix, hey, can we do this? And they said, sure. So whatever it is, it's gone.
Netflix and the Duffer Brothers is like, whatever you want.
Yeah, just whatever you want, just do it. You do it. So yeah. But welcome. I think I said hi to Brett already. Welcome, Brett.
Hey, Craig.
What's up, Danny Hooley? What's up, TD? Glad to have you in the chat as well. Thank you guys for coming in. And Tommy, I saw Tommy earlier. What's up, Tommy? Yeah. But so if you have those, they're unedited, which I like. I'm a physical media guy, so that's a perk of physical media. Now, I wish they would release the rest of the series on Blu-ray or something. I believe they're going to. I think they're going to. I've heard, but it's never been confirmed. So, but I am looking forward to season 5. So what are your hopes? I know you wanted to go through the trailer with Natalie, but I figured you guys can do that on your, I don't want to bring that up here and have you do it because you want to do it. But what are your hopes for season 5 of Stranger Things?
My hopes is that they better not kill Steve, or we ride at 10. We ride at midnight.
So yes, now Steven, if you do watch it now, it is with the changes, but it's nothing big. So
okay, yeah, it's just like touching up like the
special effects. I would assume maybe it's like, once again, this sort of goes back to where we're at with the new season, which we're going to talk about, is like, if you look at the scene in the first season when Will is riding his bike in the very first episode, and the Demogorgon is there. Some people have said it looks like Vecna now instead of the Demogorgon. So, because if you look at his hand, it does look very similar to Vecna's hand. So,
okay. Well, I'm about to do a rewatch, so now I'm going to be really curious here.
Yeah. So, but once again, your hopes for season 5.
Okay, Steve's got to live. That's one. Okay, this is gonna be so unpopular, what I'm about to say. Because we live in a society where people, we've had Game of Thrones, we've had all this type stuff where you kill off all these characters. I hope the Duffer Brothers stick to their guns and they truly let this end. When they were inspired by things that I know, this is just one of them, but like Goonies, with the kids, and they go on an adventure, but they're going to be okay. And so I know this is not popular on X, what I'm about to say. I hope not a single main character dies. Like that is my hope, because I know it's like it leans into horror and bad things happen, but it's just like I hope it really lands with like that Star Wars ending, Goonies ending, E.T., where it ends like, well, he leaves an ET, but the kids are fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want. I don't need Game of Thrones. I don't need
Right.
some 11 Hopper or somewhat Steve to die. Like they can, just like they did with Eddie and just as they've done before. Spoilers for season 4. Just as they've done before, they can give you a character. They're such great writers. If you're trying to kill off some people, make it either a third dairy character or just make a new one and make us fall in love with them and let them be a hero. I don't know.
Like they did with Eddie.
With Eddie, yeah. Like exactly.
I'm with you. I do with you on that because I do like when they have a happy. I do like a happy ending, but I feel like they're going to do a little cleaning of characters. Let's just say.
Oh no! As long as it's not the main ones, main.
There is a movie. I was going to recommend it to you. I thought about it because I don't know how you would feel about it. It's called Summer of '84.
Okay.
And it's very much like a Goonies movie. Okay. Right? Or Strangers, but it's real world. It's not supernatural. It's dark.
Okay.
All right, but it plays up until like the third act of the, because I don't want to spoil it because I know how you are with you guys reacting. So I'm trying to explain it without spoiling anything here.
Okay.
Because it's very much kids on bike, a group of kids in the 80s, very much like Stranger Things or Goonies. But the people that made it, this will give you an idea. It's like, the scene in Goonies when they stick his hand in the blender and they threaten there's like, what if they actually did put his hand in the blender? Right. So that's like the movie. It's kind of like Rear Window.
Okay.
Right? Okay. There's these kids in this neighborhood. There's kids disappearing. And the leader of the kids, like his next door neighbor, who's a cop, could be the killer, and they start spying on him, like Rear Window, right, in the neighborhood. But the movie does get dark.
Okay, so kind of even like, did you see, which is like Rear Window, just with younger people? Did you see like Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's sort of in that vein.
Okay.
But it's kids more like the Stranger Things age kids.
Gotcha.
And it's set in the 80s. It's the summer of '84.
Okay.
So yeah. So but it does get dark, which I have a feeling, to go back to that, is I have a feeling that might be where Stranger Things 5 is headed. So, but I am with you. I'd rather not see the characters we've grown to love bite the dust.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm trying to think. It's like hard. Even like the secondary characters like Murray, you'd be like gutted if he dies.
Yes.
Like you really would.
Yeah. I mean, he did come in season 3, and you're like, I don't know how I would like this guy. And then by the season 4, he's kind of like part of the crew.
Oh, you love Murray, yeah.
So, but I'm interested to see where they go. It is a strange thing that this show started 9 years ago, and we're only getting 5 seasons. So it is strange. So
it is that's what I feel like Netflix needs to work on that. I say that a lot because, back in the day, we'll go since, I've been watching, I watched it, Lois and Clark, Terry Hatcher, Dean Cain, they would have been locked in their contract. They had to be there when that show started filming season 2 and 3 for, if they got a great movie role, doesn't matter. This is first. You signed the contract here. And clearly Netflix doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you've got such an ensemble cast, it just feels like, how do they even get them all together? Even the same thing with Wednesday. I mean, you realize the first season of Wednesday came out in 23.
Yeah.
It's
and
just,
then like I seen the brothers like super taller than they're now.
You got to grow up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's funny because like in one way, it is kind of fulfilling for the actors because they can do this show, but also go and do movies and stuff. Like when they were locked in for doing 22 episodes a season, that's really all they could do. And if they wanted to do something else, they'd had to wait for the summer, and then they get like 3 months in the summer before they have to come back. And so I get that, but also at the same time, it's like you're telling a story now, because like there are people where you're like, oh, why do I even care about Stranger Things anymore? It's been like 5 years since the last season, and then they see it, and it's like, oh, now I got to go back and rewatch it. So yeah, there is a little, you know,
Do you know,
give and
I
take.
say though, there was 3 years in between because they had COVID, messed that up.
Yes. Yes.
So they in between season 3 and 4 were 3 years. And honestly, if they can pull off a season as good as season 4 or as good or just up there with it, then I'm fine with the wait. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm getting really good content and like a really satisfying ending to a show that I mean is huge that people love and that I love.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it does it. I hope it sticks it because
Yes.
some people thought it faltered in season 3. I know some
Yes.
people did, Personally, I thought season 3 was better than season 2, in my
I
opinion.
Yeah, I had fun with like all of them. So
So and then yes, I do think season 5 really stick the landing, or season 4, I mean, really stuck it in there and was really good. And I'm hoping season 5 can do that. So I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see how they do this because it's
yes.
like 3 parts, right? It's 3 parts:
Yes.
November, the Christmas, and then New Year's Eve. And I know they're going to be like almost movie length episodes, I
Mhm.
believe. So
I think they are,
yeah,
especially towards like the end. I think like the finale will be like probably an hour and a half.
yeah.
So, and I think it will be the longest season if I recall. I'll have to go back and look because I think they've released some of this info.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm very excited. Obviously, I was so excited after season 4 ended. You wanted more, and we've had to be super patient for it, which I'm not great at, but it is what it is. But yeah, I just I love the show. I think there's kind of nothing else like it. And I said this on Twitter or X, and I think some people misconstrued what I said or what I meant by it. Stranger Things really has become to say like my nieces and nephews, it's to them what like Star Wars was to me. And like that's kind of what that generation got. And I know, yes, it's heavily inspired by 80s stuff and all those
Hmm.
things. But at the end of the day, the Duffer Brothers did come up with their own thing, just heavily inspired by other stuff. And it really is for like the younger generation. It's kind of that science fiction show that like took off at like such a huge in such a huge way that most teens and young kids really love it.
It is something like, because I cover this here. Most of the stuff that's watched on streaming is older stuff. Like
Mm.
Gunsmoke is being watched more than anything on Disney Plus. so,
It
so,
surprised me.
so yeah. So like Stranger Things is actually one of those shows that has become in the streaming day and age memorable. There are very few. Like I would
Yes.
say Stranger Things and Cobra Kai so
Yes.
far have been the 2 most successful streaming series. And I've heard some stuff about the White Lotus, but I've never seen it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, like you can tell which has struck a nerve with pop culture. So yes,
Absolutely.
yeah. And we did get a $1.99 super sticker, which I don't know what it is. I don't have the thing up, but thank you, Geek Flag. Nate knows. I appreciate that for that $1.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. I'll give you a little something special. I'll give you a thumbs up.
What is that from?
Swamp Thing.
Okay. I had a feeling. I've never seen that.
That's part 2. Swamp Thing part
Okay.
2, which is so much more campier and cheesier than the first one. Wes Craven actually did the first Swamp Thing. So
I'll have to
yeah,
watch it then.
yeah, it's very campy, very
Okay.
very cheesy, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind campy and cheesy though.
Neither do I. People get so on me for that, and I'm like, I love campy and cheesy. What can I say?
Well,
What's up, Clark?
here's my thing with campy and cheesy. I think if the show or movie is self-aware that it's campy and cheesy, I think it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
If
Yes.
it not obviously if it's cheesy because it's just cringy, it's like bad, then yeah, it's not good. But if they know what they're doing and they write it or make it to be that, I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like with the first Swamp Thing movie, it is campy and cheesy, but Wes Craven was trying to make it. He's Wes Craven, right? He
Yeah.
was trying to make something. The second movie, which is so much more funner, it's so much like you can laugh at it so bad because it's so So cheesy and goofy and over the top. I've actually had the director on my channel of that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jim Wynorski. He specializes in cheesy, goofy, over the top stuff. So, but yeah, like the second one is great. And speaking of like Wes Craven, and I know last season was heavily influenced by Nightmare on Elm Street. I know
Yes.
you guys did the first movie. Have you ever watched any of the other Nightmare on Elm Streets?
I haven't. Like, so do people like second, like 2, 3, and 4? Like, because that's what I find with a lot of these. Sometimes people just never saw the sequel, don't care about it. But do people care about these?
Yeah. Okay. You can skip part 2.
Okay. You don't have to watch part 2.
You don't have to watch part 2 because I think I told you the last time you was on here. It's one of the gayest horror movies ever made. The producers
cue the dude from Variety. How gay is this movie?
It's very gay, very very gay. So you don't have to watch that one, but I would, if I was you, I would watch part 3. Part 3 is considered the best.
Okay.
So I would watch part 3, especially if you're a fan of Stranger Things and last season, because you will definitely see a lot of Stranger Things in part 3.
Okay.
And because I know you weren't like a huge fan of the first one, and you know,
it was like I liked it. Like I appreciate okay, but I definitely enjoyed other horror movies a lot more. Like, well, of Wes Craven, I love Scream like on a whole nother level.
Yeah. So Wes Craven co-wrote the third movie. He didn't direct it, but I think you would dig. Well, I don't want to say that because, you know, some people don't. You say I think you'll like it, and then they hate it. Yeah. But no, I think you would enjoy at least the third movie, and you would definitely see your Stranger Things where they were coming from in this, because it's, and it would help you with the first movie too, because I know a lot of people don't like the ending of the first movie.
Well, I was just like, wait, what? What happened?
Yes, because it's kind of like a catch-22 with that first ending, because it was supposed to be like a Twilight Zone type thing, and they were trying to, like, they had 2 different endings, and that was the better of the 2. So that's when they chose. And so with the third movie, the third movie will help you with the ending of that, and it is where Freddy Krueger becomes Freddy. It's what, you know, that's popped him off. It's the movie that made him the horror icon he is. Because it's much more lighter tone, but it's still very scary and bloody, you know, Freddy and dreams and stuff. But it's about a group of kids in a mental hospital they're trying to suppress their dreams.
Okay.
Right? They're called the Dream Warriors. Like, they each have certain powers in their dreams. Stranger Things, anyone?
Yeah.
Right? There's one girl who has certain special powers, and then Nancy from the first movie comes back for the third movie. So
gotcha.
There you go.
What was I going to say? My brain. It was on. I was going to ask a question about Freddy. So people prefer the lighter Freddy?
It depends. A lot of people like the scary Freddy, because part 1 and 2 really is the scariest versions of Freddy. But like most people really came into Freddy with the quips and the funny jokes before, like when he's telling somebody a joke before he kills them. I mean,
you're like, what makes Freddy unique, okay?
Yeah, it's what separates him from Jason and Michael Myers and all of them. You know, it separates him because he's got this little quip. But no, that's like the MTV. That's when like MTV really kicked off and all that.
Gotcha.
And so I think you would like that one. I definitely think you would like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is the last real Freddy movie. You don't necessarily have to have seen all the Freddy movies to see it, but you have to have at least seen 1 and 3. At least 3. 4, 5, and 6 you can see, but you don't necessarily need to see them, because Wes Craven's New Nightmare is his first attempt at something like Scream before Scream.
Got you.
Okay. Very meta. It's very meta.
Got you.
Yes. So like the thing of that is the actress that plays Nancy, she's playing herself.
Oh,
in the real world, and she's getting, and it's based off her true story of her, because she was getting obscene phone calls, much like Scream, right?
Yeah.
And so like and in that they take that and what was going on in her real life, and into like, now Freddy is a demon who was held captive in the movies, and he's got used to being Freddy, so now he's trying to come out into the real world. So I think you would like that one.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I know what question I was going to ask. Are there any, like, you know, obviously the first one had a young Johnny Depp. Are there any future stars in 3 or no?
Yes, there's Lawrence Fishburne is in part
Okay.
3. Patricia Arquette is the
Oh
star
yeah.
of part 3. Yeah, so they're in that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. And the director of part 3, what is his name? He's a famous director too. I gotta look this up real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You get that.
Yeah. There we go. Let's see. The director, he became a good director too. What is his name? Chuck Russell. Chuck Russell, and he did The Mask, he did The Blob, he did trying to think because like he did some really good movies. I'm trying to what is all these? Yeah, he did like The Mask and The Blob and stuff like that. So I'm trying to remember more of them, but I can't. But no, yeah, like the director of that is really good, and like even the writer of that co-wrote it with Wes Craven went on to do a lot of like Stephen King adaptations and stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'll have to go back and venture back into that field then.
I
I'll just
would, I
skip,
would.
or
Yes,
I'll watch two privately or something. I don't know.
you almost have to see it.
Okay.
You're right. You don't have to like it's because Tom's actually talked to the producer of New Line Cinema.
Okay.
And Tom asked, he asked him, he said, like, you didn't realize this was the gayest movie ever being made when they were taking you out shopping for like leather whips and chains and S&M gear because he's in the movie and he's at like at a gay bar. They go to a gay bar. He's like, it never even crossed my mind till after I saw the movie.
It is the gayest ever of
Yes,
these movies.
yes, it is. It, the sad thing of it is like the director. I think it was the director who was gay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the director was gay, and he was doing it himself, doing it, but nobody else realized it. And the actor, and it's not a woman, it's a guy. Who's the final guy in the movie? He was closeted gay at the time as well, and it really messed up his life because it outed him. And
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
you don't
it's
get many final guys.
no, you don't, and he's pretty much a final girl. So I don't mean to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean, but he really is because he's always screaming and yelling and running away from his girlfriend to go to his best friend's house.
So this was like the opposite of put a chicken and make it lame and gay.
Yeah. Most people didn't realize it until after they saw it, and they're like, "What was that?" And then when they did the third movie, they brought back Wes Craven, who sort of co-wrote it, and they brought back Nancy, and they completely part 2 is ignored from then on out. So like part 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all connect. Part 2 is never mentioned again.
Freddie was like not gay, and then they moved with his long hands.
It has one scene in the movie that is used that they do continue to use because it's probably one of the greatest Nightmare on Elm Street scenes. Is when he comes out and he's like he comes out into the real world and they're at a pool party and he's like there's fire behind him and he's like you're all my children now. So it's like this really great iconic scene of Freddy, but it's in one of the worst Freddy movies.
So as they go on, do you get like more info of like what Freddy is?
Yes.
Okay.
Part 3 will really explain it to you a lot because it really delves in. See, Freddy is one of those ones that sort of benefits from knowing more about him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like you don't need to know much more about Jason than his mom was crazy and he drowned in the lake.
Yes.
You know, that's all you really need to know about Jason. Michael Myers, they over-explained him by the end of the series that way too much. Because John Carpenter's original interpretation of Michael Myers is he's just evil. He's pure evil. That's what he is. And he's there to disrupt this small town, like this small, quiet town. He's the evil that lies underneath this small town that they don't want to talk about. And he's come back to. And then they start explaining it more and more. And it's like, stop.
Like, just stop doing this.
Yeah, stop. So, but no, like you could see that, like with the part 3, you will really see the influences of Vecna and all them, especially since Robert Englund is his dad.
Yes. Oh, 100%. We know that's where they were going.
Yes.
So yeah,
yes. Cool. So I mean, it will all tie together. So if like when Halloween comes around, if you do like your watch, I would do that one. I would do that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to do that because we need another we did like Friday the 13th too, and I think we'll
Mhm.
switch back to that.
Yeah. I like your Friday the 13th 2 reactions.
Thank
Your Friday
you.
the 13th, yeah, I like those. I got some of the behind me, the toys.
Yes, okay. I see it.
Yeah. I those are fun movies. I mean, I
They are
personally
fun.
they are. They're just easy PG slashers. There's no rhyme or reason to them.
They
So
are. And slashers are kind of fun because that was the thing. I know I kind of roasted I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's not a good movie. So like I was being genuine there, but like even at that, like I still was somewhat entertained in the theater. I
yeah,
gotta be honest on that. That's why I gave it a 3 out of 5.
it's I only liked the first one of those.
Yeah, I only had seen I didn't even know there were sequels.
Yeah, the second one is so bad. It was so bad, and then I never have had an interest in the new one. Especially, it was hilarious because the blonde woman that stars in that movie, she came out and said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Oh, the
She
younger
said,
one?
I don't know. She's like, I think she might be the star of the movie. She's blonde.
Okay. The blonde, yes.
Yeah, she came out and said that I know what you did last summer walked so Scream could run. And I'm like,
It came out a
Scream
year
came
after.
first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're in a legacy sequel and you don't even know that Scream came first, and the guy that wrote Scream wrote the first I know what you did last summer.
Do you want to know like the last line of the film?
Oh, what is it? I'll know. I don't care. So
Okay, yeah, there's 2 surviving girls. And all their friends have been brutally murdered, and maybe someone's multiple fiancés have been murdered, and they just look at each other real chill and they go, "Divas are up."
I'm going to drink. That is modern legacy sequels, right?
The whole weekend, my niece and her friend that I took to the movies, they would just be like, "Divas are up," and they were not like in a cool way. They were like mocking the movie.
It's a bad line. Very bad line.
Divas are up. It was like, okay.
Yeah, all of our friends are dead. Divas are up. So we win.
It was really bad.
That is bad. That is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be seeing that anytime soon.
I don't think you're missing much. Just watch the first one again if that's what you're in the mood for.
That was the only one I really liked because I was
Yeah.
like, I saw that it came out not long after Scream. Once again,
Yeah.
she didn't know. So, and it was written by Kevin Williamson, who did Scream. So I was like, oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah,
So,
the original was fun. It's like I said last night. It's like people were there for the hot young cast that they had. Like all of them were the it people. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, James, there are lots of movies I find overrated. We just talked about one that you found overrated.
Sinners.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but we got into a heated thing with the chat.
Oh gosh, we did.
Because Tom watched it and he brought it on, and he hated the movie.
Tom hated it like me.
Yes, and he had some of the same complaints you had when you were telling me about it. And our chat was not happy. So
I just don't get how if you're just a fan simply of horror films and you go to watch it in the vampire lane, I don't think there's a way you leave not somewhat disappointed. I just don't. And then I think Tom and I both at the same thing. I think we get so aggravated because the movie is like mid at best, but people like overhyped it, overpraised it, like it was the best thing ever, and it just wasn't.
Yeah. I have yet to see it. I need to see it so I know what you guys are talking about. But yeah, our chat was not very happy because a lot of people liked it.
Oh, they did. They did.
I would be honest. I would like to hear your take on From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
Okay. It's similar, and however, I don't know if it'd be up your alley. So
yeah,
this is the thing.
Tarantino for me can be a hit or miss. Like I always appreciate the fact that like he makes very unique films, and you can tell they're Quentin Tarantino, and there's some funkiness like that I always appreciate, but then it's still a hit or miss at the end of the day for me.
Yeah. So Robert Rodriguez and him co-wrote it together.
Okay.
And Robert Rodriguez directs it.
Gotcha.
And
But Quentin
Tarantino stars
in it, right?
Yeah. He stars. I don't want to tell you much about the movie because like you were complaining about the horror aspect of Sinners, where it takes forever for the horror to kick in. It's kind of a horror on two front with Dusk Till Dawn. Because do you know what the how much of it do you know?
Aren't they just like at a house or something, and then vampires come? Or I don't know. I don't know
So
anything.
You know that it's really you're really not supposed to know there's vampires in it. You're really not supposed to, because the less you know about it is the better. But like I said, I don't know if it'd be quite your cup of tea.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of blood.
There's a lot of blood. There's some nastiness in the movie. You know,
does it involve Selma Hayek?
Well, she just does a little sexy dance with a snake.
Okay.
So in her like underwear, basically.
Yeah.
But so George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino played brothers, which is very similar. Who Quentin Tarantino has just busted George Clooney out of prison, and they're making their way to Mexico, right? And so like it's horror on the front of like these two guys that they're bad guys, they're bad guys, right? And so they take this family, Harvey Keitel, his daughter and his son, they kidnap that family to get them into Mexico to get to this bar so they can get away from the feds. So like that's all you're really supposed to know about the film. So when the vampires show up, you're like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, you're like, what is this? So it was like you're saying, it's the opposite of Sinners. Like Sinners, you went in, you're like, okay, like I'm here for this vampire movie because that's what they've sold us with the trailers. And then you're like, well, let's just get 45 minutes of dialogue and setup of how the white man's bad. So
that's what I've heard. I mean, I can't, but that's what I've heard. No, but I would be interested in your take on it. Like, I don't think you would like it. I don't, because from watching your channel, it doesn't seem like you like vampire movies very much, other than Blade.
I don't know that I do. Like, I think I just like them to die. So I like Blade because he just kills them all.
Yeah. You should watch the movie Fright Night or The Lost Boys.
I was recently told to watch The Lost Boys. Yeah. I was heard that was like a lot of fun.
Yeah, The Lost Boys is fun. It's a great cast of that, very 80s. Corey Feldman and Haim are both in that movie. What's his name's in it too? He's the main vampire. What is his name? Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, he was at the con.
Yeah, he's the main vampire in the movie. You know, it's very much like Peter Pan. That's why it's called Lost Boys. Like even the characters' names are Michael. I'm trying to remember all the names for Peter Pan. Like the characters' names are named after.
I don't remember the Lost Boys. I just remember Peter and Wendy.
Yeah, and like the kid's name. One of the kids' name is Michael, and I can't remember the other one. I can't remember the other kid's name. But yeah, it's like very similar to that because it's like stay young, you know.
Gotcha.
All that. It's like so. Yes, and then Fright Night is one of my favorites, is because once again it's like Rear Window.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a young kid who's a horror. Well, he's not a young kid. He's probably like 17, 18. Right. So, and there's a remake too. So you got to be careful which one you look up.
Which one are you referring to?
Fright Night. There's a Fright Night, the original, and a remake. You might even like the remake too. So
let's see. It looks like 1985.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So sweet. It's him, and he lives with his mom, and he's a bit of a horror fan, which I relate to this movie. And he gets a new neighbor who moves in across the street, and his new neighbor just might happen to be a vampire, and he keeps an eye on him. And so that's where and then he hires a movie horror host who was in like Dracula movies and stuff to try to fight the vampire. So it's very good.
Promising.
Yes,
it's listed as a horror comedy, which I usually like.
Yes. It is very much in the vein of horror comedy like that. It's from the same director as Child's Play.
Oh yeah, and I really like Child's Play.
Yeah, and speaking of which, the cop in that, the cop in the Child's Play, and who also played Prince Humperdinck in
Yes.
Princess Bride, he is the next door neighbor in the movie
Oh,
that may
okay.
or may not be a vampire.
Gotcha. Okay, you have to watch this. That
Yeah,
sounds fun.
I think you dig that one. And now we could totally went off Stranger Things and horror movies. So
Well, it goes that way, you know.
yes, and I think you. I personally, I know a lot of people don't like remakes, and I don't think the Fright Night remake is all that bad as well. I think
Okay.
you would probably like that one too because that one stars Colin Farrell as a
Ooh.
possible vampire, and he's done it in a much more, shall we say, sexier way.
I like it. You're
Yeah. So
selling me.
yes. Oh yes, I know he brought this up. Tucker and Dale. I think you would like that one as well.
Okay. Is that
That one's
zombies or vampires?
neither.
Oh, okay.
So what that movie is about is do you know the actor Alan Tudyk?
Yes. Yeah, because
Yes.
we're watching Firefly.
Yes, you do. That's right. You're watching Firefly. He's in it. It's him
Okay.
and another guy. They're like these two redneck hillbillies who buy a cabin in the woods, and a group of college kids show up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the less you know, the better.
This sounds fun.
That's and it's it's great. Oh, I just think we've had a doozy of a day.
I'll have to watch this one. We're gonna have a long list. We're gonna have to like start in September this year.
Yeah. So I think you would like that one as well. Have you seen? Well, you'd have to at least see the Evil Dead movies first.
No,
So
I've
you
never
watch
seen the Evil Dead.
Yeah, which I have a poster of
And
the
I,
Evil
like what the Evil Dead, I'm like, will I like it? Because I don't love zombie stuff. Zombies and vampires, it has to be in a certain way, or I'm just like it just grosses me.
Dead. Right. The Evil Dead might gross you out then.
Yeah,
They're
it's gross.
technically not zombies. They're called deadites. They're sort of like demons, like possessed by demons. But it does get a little gross with the blood but it's over the top. It's supposed to be, by the time you get to the third movie, it's a comedy.
Okay.
So like the first one is like a straight horror movie, and then the second one becomes a little more comedy, and then the third movie, which is called Army of Darkness, it's just a straight up horror comedy.
Because those are, isn't it Bruce Campbell or what's his name?
Mm-hmm. Bruce Campbell,
he kind of does comedy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're saying the first, it does not lean into comedy. It's just over the top.
It's a little over the top with the blood, but it's not like gore blood.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
It's just like dumping buckets of like, oh, here's we're in the cellar and a pipe bursts and blood just dumps all over Bruce Campbell all of a sudden. So, and he's covered in blood. And then he wipes his face and it's all gone.
Gotcha. Okay. Like yeah, I'll have to check that out too. I know they're so popular.
Yeah, they're fun. I like the first one. The third one's probably the best.
Really?
It's the funniest.
Okay.
It's just insane. The remake is much more serious, much more darker. So I'm not a big fan of the new one they did, but the 2013 one is, if you're looking for more like horror, just like real horror. So yeah. There's a scene in that the first one. It's a little rough with
You're like, it's just a little rough.
It's a little rough. It's Sam Raimi who did Spider-Man as the director. Yeah. He kind of regrets the scene in the movie. So let's just say it's a woman and the trees do something to the woman. Yeah.
Sam Raimi later was like, that was not a great choice.
Yeah, he kind of regrets doing it. He said, but it's a very scary moment. You know, it's not played for like to be nasty, but it's played to be like very scary. Horrifying. Like this is the threat that you're facing. How do you stop it?
Yeah.
So yeah. So, but let's get on to a lighter topic here. Since we've talked about this, let's move into Superman.
Yeah.
We'll start off with you got to meet Dean Cain. So what was that like?
Got to meet Dean. Got my autograph. They were like, his little guy was like, this is the one that the women like. And I was like, I see why. I see why we choose it. But yeah, I got to meet Dean Cain. He like, and Jay Junk 3P had already told me that he was super friendly. You could tell like he had, he has so much like charisma and
Mhm.
just so super nice the way he would talk to fans and engage with them and come out and hug them, give you a hug, shake your hand. Um, Definitely, if you weren't a fan before, you're a fan now type situation. Yeah, it was a pleasure to meet Dean Cain. Like he's definitely someone, if I was at another one, you might go up again,
Yeah,
he's that kind of guy that kind of has that very inviting personality. So it was really nice to meet him. And thank you for making me a fan of Lois and Clark.
yeah. I feel happy that I got you to do that. So
Exactly. You
yes.
saw this and you're like, man, my recommendation really worked.
It's not often I can recommend something to somebody and they take it that far.
I took it all the way.
Took it all. Like, I love the show. I'm gonna meet him, and then you're gonna come on my show. So,
Exactly. It was awesome. So I was really pumped. I know I said this on our show, but I'll say it again here. He gives Terry Hatcher so much credit, and she deserves it. He said, I heard him say multiple times, I think she, in my opinion, is the best Lois Lane. And the more I watch, the more I'm kind of like, the more I watch like all the different Supermans, I'm kind of lean towards Terry Hatcher. Like she
Yeah.
brought so much. She naturally has so much just like humor that she can kind of put off, which I feel like helps the character. I feel like Lois needs to be humbled just a little bit sometimes.
Yes.
And I feel they didn't mind humbling her, at least in Terry Hatcher's version, a little.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. It makes her more human, it makes her
Yeah.
more relatable. So I like that. But where I was getting at is, as much as you watch the show and you're like, man, it's Terry Hatcher's charisma that kind of takes it. It's like I saw meeting him in person. No, there's a reason why their chemistry was so good. You had two very charismatic people in the show, and it just created something that I really love.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've always like. Christopher Reeve is my Superman, and I love Margot Kidder as Lois Lane.
Yes.
But like Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain were Superman and Lois for such a long time in my mind. So like, yes, and it's like I mentioned before to you, it's like Superman softens her heart. He's the one that brings her, because I mean, yeah, I know that Lois and Clark isn't quite comic accurate with her mom and dad in the show, because in the comics she was raised by her dad, who was a general in the army, and her mom had passed away, so that's why she's Lois. That's why she's tough. She guards herself. And then Superman breaks through that. And so I thought they really did a great job of that still in the show with the two characters. So
absolutely. Yeah, because even though they changed that, they at least like make her parent, like her from like her parents had like a real nasty divorce, which makes her a little, iffy on love and stuff. So they at least spun it in a different way.
Yeah. And what's cool about them too is, like, I know you haven't got to this show yet, on Smallville.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher plays Lois Lane's mom.
Does she?
Yes, in one episode, just one episode.
Okay.
Because she was doing Desperate Housewives, and they had to make a deal so she could appear on the show. And then Dean Cain appears in one episode of Smallville as a bad guy.
I thought I'd seen a picture where he was on the show. Okay.
Yeah,
or did they get any other like past Superman people to be on?
Christopher Reeve is
wow.
Probably one of the greatest episodes of Superman TV that you will see.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes, he's in the wheelchair. It's after his accident and everything. So like he has this great scene with Tom Welling, who plays Clark in episode season 3, I believe. It's great episode, and of course they brought him back a couple more times before he passed away, but it was not as good as that first episode, because it's like Superman passing to Superman.
Yeah,
so it's a really great episode. Yeah, so like they get a lot of people. And like even his mom, Annette O'Toole, plays Lana Lang in Superman 3. She plays Lana Lang. Margot Kidder does guest star as well on the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they get a lot of people from the other shows and movies that have been Superman to guest star on the show.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is. Did you get into, like, Nina liked the Superman, the animated series? Did you watch that?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did. It's
okay.
I have the whole series on
You're like,
DVD.
yeah, I got
I,
all the
I
DVDs.
got I got all the seasons. So, yeah, I mean, like that's what I grew up on, and like you know, the Batman animated series, Superman animated series, Lois and Clark. That was like what I was watching on because I'm a nerd that way. So,
Yeah,
so yes,
nothing wrong with
yes.
that.
So yeah, yeah. So yes, I love that series. It's a great series. Especially if you like the new movie, it is very similar to
Okay.
that, and it is very similar to some of the DC animated movies that they did uh,
Mhm.
as well. And like I think I told you when we were on your show, is like I would recommend the movie Superman versus the Elite. It's an
Mm.
animated movie, but if you like the new movie, it's very similar to that movie with some of the themes that they had in the movie. And
Gotcha. Yeah, I
yeah,
have to check it out.
yeah,
It's so interesting with the new movie. Um, it's like if people are like, "Do you think I'll like it?" It's like I'm like, "I don't know." Yeah, it could go either way, because overall, I think audiences have enjoyed it. It seems to be,
hmm,
like, from word of mouth and things people are saying, but or if you just ask someone who saw it, but it definitely I feel like and I don't mean this in a negative way, that they grew up with Chris Reeve, but, like, I feel like the 60 up crowd is really struggling with this film, and like I there's probably that's it makes sense in many ways. It just because that movie is so fast paced, where like things they would have grown up were just not, and
yeah.
I mean they're probably not wrong in the fact that it's better to be a slow burn at times, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Me too. I saw it twice and I enjoyed
I
it.
just,
And yeah, I liked
I've
it the
actually seen
second
it 3 times.
time. I'm honestly thinking about going to see it a third time if I can. But I enjoyed it so much more the second time
Mhm.
than I did the first time because I think all that like will it be good or won't it be good stuff was gone. So
Yes.
like you could sit down and just enjoy the movie. It's like I found myself liking things I didn't like in the first time around. I'm still not quite a fan of crypto personally.
Okay. Yeah,
So
crypto goes either way. See, like,
yeah,
I've seen people that were like, "I can't stand crypto," then other people love crypto. Uh, I'm, like, kinda neutral in crypto. I'm like, "He's okay."
it's just it's some of the comedy with the crypto just did not work for me, even
I
on the second
gotcha.
watch. So, but my biggest complaint is like even at the end of the movie is like growing up reading the comics. Crypto is Superman's dog. That's not Supergirl's dog. It's
Yeah,
Superman's.
why I wonder why they did that.
I think that's new comic book stuff.
Gotcha.
I think that's like the stuff people don't like reading.
Yeah, because like, if you
Yeah.
wanted to make crypto like Supergirls, then just let crypto be in the Supergirl movie.
Yeah, which he's going to be. So
Yeah. Crypto is really the star of James Gunn's new DCU, like, it's just gonna be Crypto in every film.
he even gets his own cartoon series, I think they're going to do.
Crypto's gonna go annoy Batman in Gotham City soon and work with him.
they they all have animal counterparts of themselves in the comics.
Yeah,
There's
because Warner Brothers did that Super Pets not that
yes,
many years ago, yeah.
so that's all. Like there's Ace the Bat Hound, there's Streaky the Fast Cat, like Flash. So
I think Crypto needs to be it for this universe, unless it's just like a passing scene.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I did enjoy the movie. I did like it. I even
I
liked.
did too.
I had some of my things with Mr. Terrific, but then when I was watching the second time, I was like, okay, I got it. I got it the second time. I was like, okay, I get you. I get you where you're coming from. You're not as bad as I thought. I liked you.
Yes. Yeah, I liked him a lot. Like I think that it's like I can understand the people's complaints with it. It's like I can. It's just they don't it didn't really bother me. Like, is it a perfect film? No, but it was the most fun I'd had in a theater in a long time.
Right. Me too. I mean, it's weird because after I watched it, I've wanted to read my old comic books that I haven't read in years. Like I'm getting old now, right? I'm getting old now. I
We're
haven't
so young.
so like I haven't done really read comic books and stuff like that in a long time. You got to be grown up, right? I got to be a grown
Yeah.
up. I got responsibilities and stuff. The most nerdiest I get is like in this nerd room I have here with my stuff that I've collected through the years. But like after I watched it, it made me feel like a kid again, and I wanted to read some of my old comic books and stuff like that, and watch old Superman and cartoons and stuff like that. So.
Well, and I think there's something to be said for that. Like, something that brings back like childhood joy or childlike joy, but yet it can still appeal to adults. I think that's its own charm.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's so. I didn't have a problem with that. I can see where it can be a little divisive amongst certain people.
Yeah.
And I do think a little bit of that is to blame on characters like Omni-Man or Homelander and Snyder's version of Superman. So
Yes.
I do think.
So do you think, because a big thing and then maybe it's just like, here's my thing. The reason why too, one, I enjoy the film on its own. I will buy the DVD when it comes out, or the Blu-ray, whatever.
Yeah.
But where's my mind sometimes? Good Lord, where was it going on that? Good Lord, it will come back to me in 2 seconds. I can remember what I ate 10 years ago on a certain day, but my mind will forget what it was thinking 5 seconds ago. It's quite the ordeal.
Happens a lot to me.
Oh, I'm glad Real Steven's comment just helped me get it. So here's my thing. Was the script perfect? Definitely not. Is there room for improvement in a second film? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Of giving, like hearing what the fans say, giving us a little more what we want, which I think would be a little slow, just a little slower, spending more time at the Daily Planet, Lois Lane, Clark Kent. Maybe in the next one, be even more Superman and Lois themed as far as the two of them. But let's not give her superpowers. Can we? I saw that float around. Can we just not do that? It's just, she doesn't need them. Like, she doesn't.
Yeah. That was one of my least favorite episodes of Lois and Clark when they made her Ultra Woman.
It was.
I was like,
You're like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what to do with this right now. Because it just kind of makes her like Wonder Woman or Supergirl.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's just like, we have them. Let Lois Lane be Lois Lane. That's just how I feel about that. But back to what I was saying. Why the reason I'm still I think he has built out a very fun universe that does not feel like Earth, or at least our version of Earth. And I want to explore it. Superman movie.
What's up, Fox?
Good to see you. But here's what I'm saying. Here's why I am excited moving forward. I believe the cast, the characters, everything for me in that aspect worked. I think you can make him, because this is year 3, you can make him even a little stronger, or a little even, oh, wow, he does things he didn't do in the first. I think that like the groundwork has been laid. And I know some people don't feel this way, but I'm going to point to the Nolan films of The Dark Knight was the second movie in the trilogy. And it definitely built upon the first and became like considered one of the greatest ever. So my point is, though, is he's got the casting right. He's got, like, there's a lot of good to work with. Let's just get a little tighter. It doesn't even, a little tighter, a little better script for a next one. And with that, I enjoyed it and I've seen it 3 times, but still.
Yeah. I do think maybe I'll say something that some people who are fans of his might not like, but I do think maybe James Gunn needs to pass it on to another director, maybe. I mean, I like James Gunn, but I do think maybe he needs to, like, okay, I set up the world. Here you go, because I got all these other movies and shows for the new DCU. So maybe pass it on. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So,
Or he just needs to be like, I'm going to prove all these people wrong, and we're going to be really Superman and Lois focused.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot to build on. I do think there's a lot to build on, and I do think a lot of like the Daily Planet stuff was cut from the movie.
I do too.
From what I'm hearing. So
we need the gun cut.
Yeah, at least the gun cut. Hashtag it. Send it out to the internet.
We'll get bots to start it, and then we'll all chime in like Snyder.
If he comes out and says he liked the movie, I fear for the people on the internet.
Oh, I know. What would they do?
I don't know. I don't know.
And then you're like, would Snyder like this film? It's like really so polar opposite.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're looking at it through like another fellow friend's artwork, Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because they are friends, I guess, or at least friendly.
Yeah. Well, he did write the Dawn of the Dead remake. James Gunn wrote Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is Dawn of the Dead good?
Both of them are actually really good. The original and the remake. They're both
When did the original come out?
in the 70s.
Okay.
So it's very 70s. I think it was like 78 or 79, if I remember. But it's one of my favorite zombie movies.
Do you prefer either one to the other?
I prefer the original.
Okay.
Because I'm a stickler for the original, but the remake is good. The remake is good. So
nice.
Yeah. It's surprise. It was surprising. It's one of those where it's like, I don't know if they should be remaking this movie. Don't do that. And you see it and you're like, that wasn't bad.
So did they change it like at all, or is it just kind of a like total remake?
They changed a lot in the remake. They changed a lot because like in the first movie, the 70 I think it's 78 or 79, I'm not sure, but like it's George Romero's like doing a thing on like the zombies aren't really the zombies. We are the zombies, because it's when the malls became so big and everybody was starting to go to the malls and everything. So it was sort of like take on like people have become zombies in that sense. And so like the group of people, the survivors in this movie, head to a mall, hold up into a mall, and the zombies surround them, and you know that's where it is. And in the remake, it's more than 4 people. He brings in a bunch of people. But it all still goes back to they go to the mall and the zombies. But the zombies are very different than the zombies in George Romero's.
Are they watching that in the theater in Stranger Things season 3?
I think
when they're at the mall, because the theater's at the mall.
That's right. They're watching Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Okay.
Yeah. The third movie.
Sequel of the third. Okay.
Yeah. There's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. It's a trilogy.
Okay.
But it's all different people and all different scenarios.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I know those are the movies that really inspired now I just went brain dead, the British one, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I would say Shaun of the Dead is more like Dawn of the Dead. It's very similar. That's where it gets most of its, because they hold up in the Winchester. So it's very much like them holding up in the mall in the that one.
Well, and what made me think of that was you saying that the people are zombie-like, because that's definitely like in Shaun of the Dead.
Very George Romero, because that was George Romero's whole thing was like, we talk about like messaging in movies and stuff, and it was like George Romero was very much like showing a mirror to the people of who they were at the time. Because like Night of the Living Dead, my God, I'm trying to remember when it needs to take place. Now my mind's going on me, but it's like it's either late 50s or early 60s, and it's sort of like okay, the world is like going through a certain changing point in time, and maybe people are becoming like this, and so that's what that's a statement. People will get that one wrong because the star of the movie is a black guy, and they will tell you, oh, he was making a statement. No, he was not making a statement by casting a black guy. Literally, the guy came in, auditioned. George Romero said, "You're the star." That's it. He had no point. It didn't matter. He was black. It had nothing to do with that.
He was whatsoever.
He was just the best actor for the role, but he was making a statement a different way. And then in the second movie, it's like time has passed, because it's like the same zombie thing. It's like time has passed now, and now we're in the 70s, and the world has become like this now. And then in Day of the Dead is like, okay, now the zombies have pretty much engulfed the entire world, and there's just a small section of people left underground. This is where we're at now. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm gonna have to hit you up like your inbox, and we're gonna have a list again of all the horror films I need to watch.
Yeah. We've talked more horror than we did. I thought we was going to talk more Superman, but I think maybe we've talked Superman so much lately.
We have. We've Supermaned a lot.
Superman it up.
But I did like, I really I know, again, I understand people didn't enjoy it, but I enjoyed it a lot. It just was fun. And it was hopeful. It was.
I mean, I really did enjoy that message of the movie. And like I said, I would definitely recommend Superman versus the Elite, because it's based off the comic I told you is Action Comics number 775. What's so funny about truth, justice, and the American way?
Mm.
And what it is Superman is at a point in his life where, he's Superman. Everything he has this very hopeful outlook on life, and then these new group of like superpowered people show up, and they're much more darker and edgier, and they will kill people. And Superman's like, I can't allow this, and so they get to the point where like, well, if you can't allow this, we'll just kill you, Superman. We'll kill you, so we can continue to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's where the whole justice is like. And there's a great line that in the comic he says it to the character Steel, but in the movie he says it to Lois, and it works so much better to Lois than it does to Steel. It's a great line. He tells Lois, he says, "Do you think the world has moved on?" So I thought that was a great, like, has the world moved on from Superman? Am I passe? Am I out of date?
Yeah.
So I thought that really worked well. Yeah.
Yeah, and something else too, I think people, well, I don't know if they missed it. I do enjoy how by the end of the film you see how, because for me, like with this, you have like I think it's very believable. Some people are fussing even about how the people kind of turn on them, but I think it's very believable that our very cynical, harsh world would reject like the embodiment of good. I that's very believable. I know, as a Christian, that's very easy for me to believe that they would feel that way. But by the end of it, like even Green Lantern is willing to get in the fray and help. Like he inspires even them by the end of that film. And I really appreciated that in the new one.
I did too. I like, because that's what Superman's supposed to do. He's supposed to inspire. Yeah, that's why he leads. That's the way he leads and everything, and the other heroes look up to him. So, like in the comics, like they look up to him big time. Yeah. So, other than Batman could carry. I mean, they're really good friends. Like that's what I really hated about Batman versus Superman and stuff like that. Is like they're actually really good friends in the comics. Him and Batman are, except Batman looks at Superman like he's a little like, "You're so naive, Clark." Very similar like Mr. Terrific, but he's like Batman light in the movie.
Well, how do you feel? Because like at the time, like I actually was able to appreciate, that was before I watched a lot more Superman stuff, but I did appreciate the Snyder stuff, at least at the time. And it definitely has some moving scenes in all of them. The ones he did with Superman is what usually is moving. Yeah. But how did you feel about Batman versus Superman? Because like, they kind of make Superman like, you're kind of like, can you stop being so ridiculous to Batman? Like, I don't know. You kind of felt that way. Did you feel that way watching it?
Yeah. Well, as a Superman fan, I was kind of, like, why are they letting Batman do this to Superman?
Yeah. Or that. Yeah. Then Batman's like, I'm going to kill Superman, but it was just like both ways. You're like, is all this really necessary? Maybe I should sit down for a cup of coffee and just talk things out.
Exactly. The real problem is it was a hodgepodge of a bunch of different comic book stories. And the Batman story that they were using for that when he fights Superman is not even canon. It's what they call an Elseworld story. It comes from The Dark Knight Returns is what it's about. It's about a future where Batman has retired as Batman. Bruce Wayne is retired as Batman. And he starts to come out of retirement as an very old man. And then Superman works for the government now, and which I don't think he ever would. And so like the government says, like the president is like, "Hey, your friend in Gotham's starting to stir up stuff again. Go kill him." And so like the whole thing with the metal suit and everything, that comes straight from that comic book. And the whole point of it was just to, like, he knew he was going to lose to Superman, but he was just trying to prove a point that he could make a god bleed. So that's where that part of the movie comes from. And then they also blended in the death of Superman, and then they also blended in story elements from Trinity, which is Batman, Wonder Woman, and which that's what's wrong. It's just too much in that movie.
There's just too much
in that movie.
Yes. Well, how did you feel as such a Superman? Because now I think it would bother me more. Even then I was like, he's going to come back. But how did you feel when they killed Superman in the second movie?
I was like, and they do it in so stupid of a way because he could have just threw the javelin. He could have just threw it right into his chest. Because like, if you've ever read The whole Death of Superman comic is like it's this like giant knockout drag out fight between Doomsday and Superman to where they just beat each other to death. Right? And Superman is protecting the city and Lois and everybody from this monster. So he's like it's just like punch fight. That's all it is. And until they just like kill each other. And that's how he dies. And then it's just like, okay, he's charging and he could literally, if he can fly with it and it's already not weakening him that much as is, just throw it. Just throw it right into his chest. That's all you had to do.
No, we needed to watch Superman get a big javelin straight through the heart and die.
It could have been, the problem is that movie could have been really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. It's just, they were too much in one movie and they were trying to compete with Marvel too soon. Just too soon. They needed to let things breathe. They probably should have made a Man of Steel 2. They probably should have made a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Superman?
Batman versus Superman.
That was rough.
I think if they would have like made a Man of Steel 2 or a Batman movie and then saw like Batman's point of view, people wouldn't have been so like, why are they fighting each other and everything? You could have put that together in those two movies and then brought them together in that movie and say, oh, okay, so now I see why these guys are beefing. So
yes. Yeah, that would have been a lot better.
Yes, very much. But I think we'll end it there. And thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it for coming on here and everybody out in the chat. Everybody's been watching. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you got to meet Dean Cain. I really am.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of
fun. I'm hoping to meet him one day. Like I said, I've met Michael Rosenbaum, Lex from Smallville, Sam Witwer, who played Doomsday in Smallville, by the way. So he played Doomsday in Smallville.
There we go.
Yeah, I've also met the original Supergirl.
Ooh,
it's this comic. I went to this comic. It's like my favorite comic convention I went to. It was at the Daily Planet. It was the building
in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, it was the building they based the Daily Planet on, and that's where I went. That's where I went up there. I met Michael Rosenbaum, Sam Witwer, the original Supergirl. I met Ray Park, who played Dark Ball.
Yeah.
He's very full of himself. He's very confident in his abilities.
I mean, he's good at what he does.
Somebody was asking, he was like, why don't you do the UFC? Because he was like, well, because I could flip over this guy's head and break his neck and land before. I'm like,
the UFC people are like,
yeah, no. Oh, and I also met Edward James Olmos, which was
cool.
Really cool. And it was like, I've told a story like 100 times on my channel, but it's like one of my favorite comic book con convention moments is like, I'm waiting in line to get my picture back for that with Michael Rosenbaum. Right? I'm at the very front and I'm waiting there. Then Edward James Olmos comes up and he goes, excuse me, young man, and pushes me out of the way. And he asks the guy in front of me that's handing out the picture. He's like, do you know where the bathroom is? And the guy's like, yeah, it's down there. And he goes, thank you. Excuse me. And he walks away. And the guy looks at me and he goes, that was awesome. Like the biggest nerd moment ever.
You should have immediately. That's when you cue in Keanu Reeves. No way.
So that was like the funnest con I've ever been to in my life, and I've been to a few. So that was like the funnest because I'm a huge Superman fan. So it was like it was a Superman convention, is what it was.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and then they had some other sci-fi people there. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good time. And then plus, I mean, you can't beat it. It was in the Daily Planet. I was in the Daily Planet, man. So
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
But thank you once again, Michelle, and everybody out there in the chat and everybody listening. I appreciate you guys. I don't really have a thing to end it, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it. And thank you guys.